here's the thing, folks. You don't have to wait for any specific day or date in your calendar to start being the instigator of the change that you want to see in yourself. And this is where my beef fundamentally lies with indulgence. Because when you kick back and you start indulging yourself during the festive period, eating lots of food, putting on weight, getting out of shape, being sloppy, being careless with your precious time and energy. When you start to do that, because you think, I'll deal with all the other stuff later. The new year, New Year's resolutions. The thing here is, folks, you do not have to wait for any specific date in the calendar to start carrying out the change that you want to carry out so as to better your own existence. I'm not saying that you can't embrace the Christmas spirit. Of course you can. Of course you can do some novel, unique things at Christmas. It's not that you have to totally ignore Christmas and just treat it like another day. You can do that if you want as well. But you can, of course, fully embrace Christmas. You can embrace the novelty of that time of year. But Christmas shouldn't be used as an excuse to indulge and be sloppy because you have goals that you're going to put on the long finger and wait until the new year, because the new year means what? What does the new year mean? Why can you not start your goals or start moving towards your goals right now? Why can you not start doing it on Christmas Day? Why do you have to take this extended time off? My nose is dripping. Goodness gracious me. I have had a drippy nose over the last few days. Bit of a distraction. But anyway, where was I? Christmas and the festive period. You don't have to indulge yourself and just deliberately engage in sloppy behavior because it's culturally appropriate to do so. And now we're starting to get to the real core of the Bandido's beef here. It has become culturally acceptable. It has become the cultural norm to be an absolute slop at Christmas time. And in fact, if you aren't a slop, and you don't indulge yourself, and you start to get to work on furthering your own existence and enhancing your own existence and making it better, if you get straight to work on Christmas Day, the sloppy, indulgent people, they are looking at you and saying, what are you doing? Why are you not being sloppy like me? It is you who gets labelled as the, quote, extreme person. It is you who gets labelled as the person who, quote, wants to have no fun. When in reality, the sloppy, indulgent people, once again, similar to last night with gifts, they have been psyoped into believing that Christmas represents indulgence and sloppy behaviour. Who decided that this was the cultural norm? Why can you not enjoy Christmas, enjoy time with your family, enjoy time meeting friends and other people who you maybe haven't seen in a while? Why can you not do that? Why can you not go out and have a nice meal? Yeah, no problem. But why do you have to then get unbelievably sloppy and indulgent beyond your average baseline level of indulgence? Why do you have to go so far into the red? And this is what happens. It's become culturally the norm to be a slop at Christmas. And anyone who isn't partaking in sloppy behaviour, they then start to feel the social pressure to conform to the sloppiness and the indulgent behaviour. What a load of shit. Imagine that. Imagine you actually get rewarded socially now at Christmas for being indulgent. and being sloppy. You actually get praised. You get credit for doing it. Oh, it's just great, Frankie. I don't know why I keep picking on Frankie. Why is Frankie in my head? We're going to roll with it. You know, oh, it's great, Frankie. Frankie, it's just great to see you put your Santa Claus socks on and just kick back and put your feet up and eat your mince pies and eat your ice cream and have apple tart with cream and have more turkey and more ham and eat so much food that it goes back up your esophagus and into your lungs. Not scientifically proven. Frankie gets labelled as the normal one. The world is inverted. Down is up and up is down. Frankie is the normal one. When you behave like an indulgent slop, you are the normal one. That is the culturally acceptable thing to do. And if you decide, no, yeah, I'll spend time with you, no problem. I'll give you my full time and attention. And I will certainly embrace the Christmas spirit, no problem. I'll do that. But I'm also going to get to work on my own goals and ambitions. Oh, but Mr. Bandido, you've got the New Year's coming up. Can you not just kick back and indulge for a little bit? No, I cannot do that. Why would I do that? Why would I give the new year this power over me? Why would I have to wait until the 1st of January 2026 to start doing what it is that I want to do? Why would I do that? Who decided that it was the cultural norm to kick back and be an indulgent slop for 2 or 3 weeks before actually getting my finger out of my hole and starting to do something? Who laid out those rules? And so this is the thing. People who want to just get on with achieving their own goals, independent of whether it is the 25th of December or the 19th of July, those people get labelled as the weird ones, or the antisocial ones, or the, quote, you're no fun ones. And all of this indulgence actually gets social approval. Inversion. We are living in an inverted universe, and that's why the Bandido's here, to restore balance to the universe with his live streams. And to give some people a very gentle toe in the hole to realise that you shouldn't be waiting for any specific date to get your life back on track or to start enhancing your own existence. Why would you wait when you can literally start right now? You can literally have your cake and eat it. This is the thing. This is the sort of bizarreness of the festive period and all of this sloppy behaviour and indulgence that we see. You can spend time with your loved ones. You can embrace the Christmas spirit. But guess what? You can also pursue your own goals at the same time. Why do you have to literally abandon your own personal ambitions for a number of weeks so that you can become an indulgent slop? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. It really doesn't, because you can have your cake and eat it here. You can do everything. But people choose to lean into the absolute sheer indulgence of the festive period. And of course, because they get the nod of social approval, they really lean into it, don't they? You know, I've had, let's say Frankie. Frankie's he can feel the food going back up his esophagus. He's already had 8 mince pies. And Fanula comes over. Fanula says, Frankie, would you like another mince pie and cream? And Frankie can feel that he's struggling to breathe. Some of the food is starting to leak into his lungs. And Frankie knows that he's on the verge of being sick. But it's Christmas! So he eats the 9th mince pie. And he shoves the whipped cream down him. And Fanula looks at him and goes, It's great, Frankie. It's just so great to see you kicking back and relaxing at the end of the year. And Frankie's lying there, starting to sleep. His body's working overtime. His digestion hasn't had a nap for the last 2 weeks because there have been so many mince pies and so much turkey and ham and celebrations going down his gob, going down his esophagus and into his stomach and then into his intestinal tract. And Fanula's really happy about it. Fanula's just delighted to see Frankie kicking back and being an indulgence slop. Good man, Frankie. You have succumbed to the social norms. You've become a certified indulgent slop. Congratulations. Here's your certificate. We do not have to wait, folks, until the new year. This is the big lesson. We do not have to wait until the new year. We do not have to wait for any date on the calendar to start getting our life into the correct form that it should be in. We do not have to succumb to the social norms of being an indulgent slop during the festive period. You can literally have your cake and eat it. You can do everything. You don't have to literally sacrifice your own goals for a number of weeks just to be a slop and just to be indulgent, because the culture demands that you do that. And you don't want to be seen socially as an oddball. You don't want people to say, oh, did you see Frankie? Frankie, oh, he got up off his chair there and he went outside and walked around the house. Jesus, unbelievable. Frankie, get your hold back on the chair and have a 10th mince pie. What was that? You want more whipped cream? Absolutely. Here's some whipped cream, Frankie. Don't allow yourself to succumb to the social norms. You can enjoy Christmas. You can enjoy all the things that come with Christmas. The social interaction, maybe some novel food, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. But folks, for the love of Jesus, please do not be waiting for something magical to happen in the new year. Please do not be using the optimistic New Year's resolutions that are kind of dangling there on the horizon. And don't be thinking that something magical or unsuspecting in a good sense is going to happen in the new year, and that the universe is just going to literally hand you all of your goals fully completed on a silver platter. There is always going to be a certain amount of social disapproval. That is true. There's always going to be a certain amount of social disapproval, people looking at you, getting on with your own goals and ambitions, not being a board certified slop during the festive period. There will be people will look at you and say, ha, look at that. Ha, see him? Ha, he thinks he's something. Ha, he thinks he doesn't have to relax at Christmas. Well, we'll just relax, won't we? Notice what is happening there, folks. The sloppy, indulgent people, not in a malicious way necessarily. There could be some maliciousness, but not necessarily in a malicious way. But the sloppy, indulgent people who can't control themselves and they just want to fully indulge themselves during the festive period, they want you to be brought down to their level. And do you know why they want you to engage in this similarly indulgent behaviour? Because it makes them feel better. It makes them feel less guilty about all the crap that they're eating, about all of the sloppy, lazy, unproductive behaviour that they are engaging in. It will make them feel better if they can see you engaging in similar sloppy behaviours. Because you see, if you don't engage in those sloppy behaviours and those indulgent behaviours, they will start to beep, 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 they'll start to chirp. Beep, 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 you're going for a run. What do you mean you're going for a run? Oh, it's too cold outside. You might get knocked down. One of those flying pigs, you know, that are going to come in the new year, they might float down in front of you and boot you in the hole. Don't go outside in case. Don't go outside because the dolphins might be walking out of the ocean. And they might boot you in the hole too. Don't go outside. Don't do a run. Please have a mince pie with some whipped cream. No, I'm going to go out and do a run, and I'm going to go out and chat to a few people, and I've got some work to do, but I'll be back later. But what do you mean you've work to do? Oh, well, I have to go and plan a few bits and pieces, and, you know, there are some things that I'm going to be doing in the incoming days and in the new year, and I want to get some of these things together. What do you mean you want to get things together? But it's Christmas. But it's Christmas. You should be kicking back and relaxing and being a slop like me. Me, sloppy fanula. Be a slop like me, please. Be a slop, so that it doesn't make me feel so guilty. Please, Frankie. Be sloppy, Frankie, please. It'll make me feel better. And then I can enjoy my indulgent behaviour and not feel guilty. You are going to get some choice looks from people as you strike a beautiful balance between getting into the Christmas spirit, but also getting on with your own existence and not waiting for something magical to happen on the 1st of January 2026. You can do both. You don't need to literally sacrifice everything that you are interested in just to be a full-on schlop at Christmas or during the festive period. And the same goes for New Year's. There's nothing special about New Year's Day or the 1st of January 2026. It may have some symbolism of hope or whatever else. Renewal, a new year, optimism, whatever word you want to use. But you don't have to wait until then. You can get to work now. And you can also literally indulge your work. If you want to indulge something, how about indulge that? Indulge your passions. Indulge what it is that you really want to do so that can make your life better. When we're talking about furthering our own existence, be indulgent then. No problem. If you want to indulge the change that will be necessary so that your life becomes better, now you have permission to be indulgent. But to be indulgent and literally set yourself back just because there's social and cultural pressure to do so, there's no need to do that. We don't have to do that. We do not have to sacrifice everything we are interested in just because the culture demands that we be certified indulgent slops.